Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope y'all are doing well. I know it's been quite a while since my last video. What, like a year-long hiatus, something like that? So I do apologize for that. But, life gets busy and got things to do, right? But I thought a good way to come back from my year-long hiatus was to show you guys another Colt from the safe. So without further ado, we'll just get right into it. I know you guys have probably already know what this is based off the thumbnail, but this is Colt Detective Special from 1975. So this is a third issue, as you can already tell, at least those of you who know your Colts. This is clearly the third issue Colt Detective Specials kind of had a lot, probably the most significant amount of changes made to them. Man, I should have pulled my first issue out, but we'll do that for another video. I'll pull out the first issue and kind of go over some of the similarities and changes. But yeah, essentially, they threw on a set of thicker grips and cut down the frame a little bit and the grip. And it just usually a lot of these models, the grip is finished off where the wood grips come together and kind of finish off the grip itself. If that doesn't make any sense, maybe I'll go into another video. But yeah, this is a third issue Colt Detective Special. One of the other changes they did was they added the shroud over the ejector rod, so you kind of got that more smooth, sleek look to it. At least that's kind of, at least to me, what it looks like compared to the other Detective Specials. Just kind of, I don't know, it's just very streamlined. And I gotta be honest, at first when I kind of was first getting into Colts and stuff, I didn't really care too much for the third issues. For some reason, they just looked different enough that I just didn't really, I don't know, just didn't really care for them too much, but they just grew on me a lot. Yeah, I've kind of come to really, obviously I own one, but it took me a while, but I did finally come around to the changes that they made and just kind of appreciate the look of it. But in addition to that, there are obviously some changes like that, but there's also the third issue were the first ones that were rated for +P. So I don't know exactly how all that works. I assume, because it's still in the same frame, so maybe they just, I don't know what they did internally to make it +P rated. I'm not an engineer or anything, but I would assume there was also some internal stuff fixed or updated on the third issues. But yeah, it's supposed to be rated for +P. I'm not gonna be running tons and tons of +Ps through. Honestly, I don't really do much with this gun. I do occasionally carry it, as you can see, I got a holster here. And when I do, these are +P rounds, some Buffalo Bore 158 grain, lead hollow points, but I don't go to the range and shoot +Ps through this. I think most people will understand that that's gonna, especially on a small, D frame like this, it's gonna, put excessive wear and might, just don't want to put a ton of +Ps through these size guns. There's really no reason to, I think if you wanted to carry something like this and you wanted to carry +P in it, by all means, 6 rounds. If you ever had to use it, it's not gonna blow the gun up or anything. Obviously, it's rated for +P, but I don't know how I got into that. I digress. Anyway, we're just here appreciating, the Detective Special here. I think I've already showed these roll marks a couple of times during my rant, but we'll just show them again. This one's in great shape, as you can see. Got the rampant colt there, a rampant horse. There's business end. But yeah, just kind of thought I'd show it to you guys and let you get a look at it. This is an old Bianchi holster. Colt Detective Special. Let's see what the number is. 5 Bravo. So, I don't know. If you like the look of this one, you can maybe find an old one on eBay or something that looks like this. But, let's see. I'll throw it in there for you guys. I know some of you guys are like, what are you doing? All that holster wear. I'm sorry. That's what that looks like. It is kind of honestly, like, you load it up with some rounds, and I mean, it's not the lightest thing in the world. You know, it's obviously it's not an aluminum frame revolver or anything. This is all steel. Yeah, I mean, it's not the lightest thing. As far as size goes, if any of you guys are curious, I mean, I got pretty decent, like, big hands, so I might be kind of making this thing look like a little toy, but they're really not that big of guns. Here, I do have, this is hot, so we'll be careful with it. This is a Glock 43. It's about the closest thing I have to anything that's, you know, relatively. I don't have a Glock 19, so I know that's kind of the universal size comparison, but let's see, how do we want to do this? So, pretty similar in size, at least the overall footprint of a Glock 43. Obviously the width gonna be a lot thicker on the revolver, at least in places. But, you know, 6 rounds of plus P38 over 7 rounds of 9mm, you know, also potentially plus P. You know, it's not a bad, I wouldn't say you're really underpowered here, you know, or undergunned, whatever. This is still gonna be heavier than the Glock, but that's to be expected, metal and plastic. But just kind of thought I'd show, if anybody wasn't quite sure what the, you know, the size of the Detective Special was. It's not a very big gun, but it is all steel, so, you know, there's some weight there. But yeah, that's a little size comparison. We'll put that off to the side. But yeah, just kind of want to show it to you. It's a beautiful old Colt. I like getting these out every now and then and just fondling them and watching some Magnum PI and, you know, or whatever old TV show or movie I'm in the mood for. Like I said, I'll get my first issue out at some point, and we'll kind of go over some of the changes and updates and whatnot that the Colts underwent over the years and issues. But yeah, just a beautiful old Detective Special. I don't make them like this anymore. Well, maybe they might. I don't know. We'll see. They're starting to blue some guns again, so we'll see what Colt comes out with. I just saw they're doing the pythons, the snubby pythons again. So, and I saw the Viper that Colt's making kind of has. They brought back this style of grip a little bit on the new Vipers. So, who knows? Maybe they'll throw these grips on on the Cobra or something like that and blue it or something. Who knows? But we could get a gun that looks kind of like this from Colt again in their catalog. I guess we'll find out. But as of now, you know, they don't make them like this anymore. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys stopping by. If there's any other comparisons you want me to do with this, maybe I'll pull all my snubs out. We'll see and do a video on those. But yeah, thanks for watching, and take care.